Okay, Mo, welcome back. So, in the last tutorial, we discussed proms, where you will win the game. As long as you can prom your opponent in, and the two different proms. Blocking him completely where he's got a man on the bar, or blocking him like so, where it becomes unplayable for black to play. Okay, so in this tutorial, what I want to teach you is making a point, okay, as opposed to hitting a man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very critical. So let's say, for example, right, we're starting out. And say, for example, this is the situation. Okay, and you roll a 3-1. Alright, now you've got two options. You can either go 1, 2, 3, and 1. And make what's called the golden point. This is the most critical point you can make on a backgammon board. Okay, it is so strong you've got no idea.
Yeah.
It's the perfect opening roll. It's the best opening roll you can roll, is the 3 and the 1. Now, you've got to ask yourself a question. Do I give up making the golden point to hit my opponent? Okay. What would you say?
I'll say make a point.
You say make the point. Okay. Nothing wrong with making the point. But it's not as effective as hitting. And I'm going to show you why. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay. First of all, you're on the ball, which means you have to come on and travel all the way around back into your home board and start again. Okay? Okay. The second reason, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 1. So you would be off the board. The second reason is, by me hitting you with a 3 and a 1, okay, I've pretty much made half a point in your board. Because on my next 4, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can own your golden point for pretty much the rest of the game, which gives me total control. Okay, so not always. And once we play more games and whatever and become more familiar with the game, there are situations where making the point is much better than hitting. But seeing as we start in the game, and 3-1's a hell of a good example because it's the best opening roll. You hit. To send him back, once again, I get to make that point if possible.
But you have his roll in between. And let's say he rolls a 1-5.
Okay.
Now you have a situation where he can go 1.
Okay, that's
and
fine.
he can go 5. Which is basically pointless because he's going to bring you back on the bar and you'll have to work your way back into the game.
Okay.
But
having said that,
the reason I was making the argument of making the point first was... Okay, you were going to say something?
Okay, so first of all, I'm bringing you back. Secondly, I'm owning half a point. So what I'm doing is, say you roll what?
You roll the 3-1, you hit my man, he's on the bar.
Okay, so say you roll the 5-1, for example. You don't really care at this stage about getting hit. Because you can come in so easily. Only a double 6-1 come in. So you could go 5, and you could try to go for that right point again. And you might get hit again, which is fine. You might be in a situation which we're going to learn at a later stage where it looks something like this, and you're going to bring all these men around, but it actually works to your advantage.
So that's what I'm saying, because if I then go for that hit and not for the point, then I'm putting your men back into the game, because then I have more of your men coming into my home board.
Yeah, but sometimes your timing is bad. So you're in a situation like this where I've made sort of like an outside prom on you.
Yes.
So what would happen is these checkers are pretty much stuck. You've got what's called an outside prom. But in the meantime, okay, so let's take this as the position. So you roll your dice. Okay, so a 3 and a 2. So you can't get out. You can never get out.
Mm.
So you're going to get into a situation where it might look something like this, and even like this, but now you would have to start breaking your board.
And then you'd get space to
But
move.
it would be easily for me eventually. It would come like this and then like this. Because
Then all these men are going to be out of the game.
No, exactly.
Because you'll be on the other side.
Exactly. So I'm fighting with 15 pieces against 4.
Mm.
So once again, if we're in a pub and 15 guys with the same strength are fighting 4 guys with the same strength, the 15 guys are going to win.
It's what you said in the first tutorial we had, that the objective of the game is not necessarily always to finish the game.
Yeah, it's like I showed you with the doubling cube in the last tutorial.
Yes.
We want to take the element of lady luck out of the game.
Mm.
You know, anybody can roll a double 6 when they need it, a 35 to 1 number, or a 6-1, which is a 17 to 1 number. That will do when we learn about the 36 combination of the dice.
Because then my problem will be that if I focus more on hitting you, I keep putting your men back into the game.
Yeah, but if you're focusing more on hitting me than actually making your correct points.
Exactly.
I mean, like I said to you, the most important point on the backgammon board
is the golden point.
And which people who have been playing for years and years don't. I mean, it's mind-boggling. They don't even know that.
So, if I had the option to choose between my golden point,
you see, being so early in the game, rather hit to take it back. But the other thing is, the last thing I actually want to show you is right. So, I'll roll a 3 and a 1 for. Sorry, I'm like this. Like this. Okay. You must remember, now you rolled the 3-1. Okay, so you've now rolled the 3-1. This is a great play because it makes the golden point. But the other thing is, by you hitting me, it makes it so much more difficult for me to eventually make this golden point. Because all I actually can do is come on, say with a 5-1.
Yeah.
So 5-1 and carry on just to get to make this point. That's how valuable this point is. I'm prepared to get all checkers like this back just to have this point. And then slowly coming from from your home board into your outer board
into your side.
Because what I would try and do, say it was something like this, even though I don't have a perfect prime, because you can always get out with 6s or whatever. But
all of these men are useless to me now.
Well, you're going to still get to play them.
Yeah, I can get them into my home board, but they can affect what's going on with your checkers.
No, if you hit, you're always playing with the game plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you'll see where the game's panning out. So the 3 reasons I wouldn't. First of all, to send a checker back. Second of all, like I said, to own your golden point, because then you can never make it. And the third thing is, if I've got my golden point and I'm holding your golden point, it's very difficult for you to win a game. There are many cases where making a point as opposed to hitting, making the point is much better. But seeing as we're learning backgammon for the first time, I would advise where you can hit. And later on, we'll see strategies, and this game can become so complicated where you'll see, hang on a minute, I can hit him, but it's much more beneficial to make a point. But when we start out the game, this was a classic example of a 3-1. This is one time I would substitute the golden point
for the hit.
For the hit, sure. I'm sending you back. It's early in the game, you don't mind getting set back. You want to make your golden point at the end of the day. You'll do everything you can to make this point. It's the most critical point on the backgammon board. And
if I hit you here, I'm basically serving both purposes. So if I roll a 3 and a 1, and I go 1, and I hit you, and I go 1, 2, okay, 3, then...
No, it's easier. 1, 2, 3. You
Yeah,
make a
so
lot of
basically, so I still get my point and I still get to hit you.
Yeah. Can work in your favour at all times. But the critical thing is, a lot of the time it's much better to make a point as opposed to hitting. When learning backgammon for the first time, implant in your brain, just hit. Hit where you can.
Okay.